So just a quick wrap up from Lalit and myself. We wanted to just speak a little bit about some of the good stuff that's been going on in the regions, and also where we see the opportunities for the fiscal ahead with you, having been through the last day and a half in terms of all the strategic imperatives. So we'll start with Lalit.
Thank you, Al. So the purpose of this session is twofold. Number one, to share what the highlights are of both APAC and EMEA. And second one is to share the priorities for FY20. Moving forward, I think from next year, probably we'll do this session day one so that we have a full audience.
Yeah.
So I'll spend time, a little bit of time on highlights, but more importantly on FY20. So in terms of landscape, Asia Pacific's got 32 distributors, and we cover more than $600 million worth of business in the region. 80% of this business or more is broad market. It's outside the O2000, as we call it internally. It's represented in 26 countries, not as many as EMEA, but still sizable. We transact with 2,000 plus partners. This is distribution only, and 6,000 plus transactions. Again, slightly less than EMEA because their size is bigger, but it's again very, very sizable. We have more than 500 dedicated resources from distribution on Oracle. These are resources put in by you, the distributors, and this is calculated based on the FTE model, where I take 220 man days available in a year, and if half a person or two people are working half each, then I count it as one. The point I'm making is it's a sizable investment, and we as Oracle in our partnership also need to look at the profitability. If you're not profitable, you will not invest in this. You are our extended arm, you provide us reach. So I absolutely respect and appreciate that. Over the last 2 years, few of our VADs have invested significantly in cloud. You heard from 3 of them today. There are more. In fact, 2 of them, NextGen and GD+, but third was awarded the Innovation Award. So there are more, but the key point is we do have competency centers in Asia Pacific, but they are self-invested by distribution or distributors. We do not have a COE model the way EMEA runs it, and we need to learn from that, and I'm hoping to extend that in Asia Pacific moving forward. Something, as you may not know, all hardware in certain countries like Indonesia, Philippines, so India, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, and SAGE countries is done by distribution. Importer of record is actually a distributor. Very, very critical. We work very closely with the ODP team. I talked about that in the ODP workshop as well. Pretty much every enablement and every go-to-market activity in ODP segment is done by distribution. It's easier for me because I run both, so I'm able to get the convergence done, but I think very, very important from a perspective of addressing SMB. We have very strong focus on ODA, and I personally strongly feel in building ISVs. I think we have a very, very strong opportunity with ISVs. So there is a team that will work with the top 75 and the next 200, so 275. And I hope with the distribution I cover the next 50, 100, 150 in terms of management. We've worked very hard on the enablement. If you recall, a few quarters ago, we ran the training around UCs, cloud platform, cloud infrastructure. We've super exceeded the numbers that we had. I think we had 150% achievement in terms of certification in Asia Pacific. I mentioned around Digital China, probably the largest partner now in Asia Pacific is also contract manufacturing Exadata with us for China market, for the local market. The next one is also very important. We were always talking about what are the new areas where we can get more margin, more revenue. Exadata installation is the other one. We have certain VADs who have build capability and are installing Exadata and getting that additional margin. So this is again something, if you want to explore in your region, talk to us, work with us. We will tell you how to maneuver with the support organization. Again, in indirect countries, cloud at customer is done by the distributor. I think you've got some examples in EMEA, but we were the first ones to do it in Indonesia, where VAD is again the importer of record. They hold the title of the goods for the duration of the deployment, 4 or 5 years, and take all the risk. We've done some in Philippines now. It's a very difficult model. It's a lot of risk the VAD takes, and it's very, very well appreciated by the sales organization and the management. And last but not the least, we've been very, very proactive. There are a lot of countries in Asia Pacific that are very high on CPI, Corruption Perception Index. So we had decided in FY19 to address it proactively. So we've run trainings in China. I've run trainings myself in India in 3 locations. We've run in Korea. I've run in ASEAN with Greg himself. If you know Greg Vamos, part of Dorian Delhi's team, and Chris Wheeler, they were with us in these trainings. So that's the commitment Oracle has to run a very, very compliant business. Now, these trainings were not only for VADs, but the directly managed partners also. But predominantly, we had large number of distributors and their senior management people attending. So that's the highlights, and I'll pass it on to Al to talk about the highlights of EMEA, and then I'll come back and talk about the FY20 priorities, which are very, very critical to me. I may, when I talk to you in the new capacity, would ask you to focus on those 5. So Al, please.
Sure. Thank you, Lalit. And, over the years, Lalit and I have known each other for a long time and in very similar roles. And we always talk about how homogeneous the geographies are, right, in terms of how similar they are, and really pushing the indirect message because, EMEA is nearly 120 countries. The majority of them, Oracle does not have a legal entity. Okay, so similar to Lalit's geography, it's basically you are the importer of record, et cetera, right? So very, very important to us. It's been recognized, so do take that message away. We have a number of VADs covering those geographies. In Western Europe, actually, it's only 3. So we have Arrow, Tech Data, and we have Computer Gross in Italy. Okay? All the rest of them are in the EMEA region. And as you go further south and east, that's where the complexity comes into it. And we do rely so much more on all of our VADs as we go into those regions. Similar to Lalit, tremendous amount of enablement that's gone in. So when we look at the number of partners that we've trained up, and then you actually calculate the number of man days that's been trained, that we've trained people up to, it goes in excess of 10,000. So there's a lot of man days of training that takes place. You yourselves need to follow that up and make sure that you're getting a return on that investment. And a lot of you, when I'm sat down with you, you hear me talk about stickiness, partner stickiness. You've got to create partner stickiness. Okay? You don't give something for nothing. Those partners are reliant on you. Carry it through to the next phase of the partner life cycle. I run a business that's in excess of $800 million. Lalit has a business that's in excess of $600 million. So you imagine how big this business is. And you have 1,000 people taking the Oracle solution to market, dedicated. That is a message we should be taking to our sales force internally. Okay? So for all of you, it's not just beholden on Lalit and myself to remind these people. It's actually beholden on you every time you meet them, that as a group, as an entity, collectively, okay, we scale. And we scale in the areas that they want us to scale in, either by partner type or by geography or by solution. Okay? Distribution does all of that lifting. So that's really, really important. We've got 8 CCOEs, and they're really scaling. The innovations that are taking place there are phenomenal. A lot of partner solutions are coming out. And really, it's about driving partner lifecycle there. So it's not about getting a partner who has a transaction, joining them in OPN, doing the transaction, and you never see them again. Okay, it's about driving that entire life cycle, and it's really, really important for us. Number of solutions that we've taken to market. Our systems business, 92% indirect, okay? And overall, in EMEA, it's 70%. So 70% of the resale business across technology, systems, and cloud, okay, is distribution. We have made an intent to move it 2-tier. So I expect at some point in time, the intent is actually to get it over 90%. So we change the route to market, allow you to reinvest back in Oracle. Really, really important parameters for us. What else is there? Strong growth in Java business led by VADs. The number of people who tell me that it's taking up a lot of your time to revert to these and respond to these Java calls. But again, that's a growth opportunity for us. And some really interesting initiatives that have taken place to target, specific competitors. In Germany, for example, the SAP market base, which is very prevalent there. So I think overall, there's a lot to celebrate. Whether we talk about coverage in terms of the number of countries that we cover, whether we talk about partner types in terms of partner coverage, whether we talk about capability and driving skills into that partner base so that they can engage the customers, or whether we talk about capacity, the ability to transact frictionless business on behalf of Oracle. Okay, you do all of that. You provide the coverage, you provide the capability, and you do provide the capacity. Do remind people of what you do, because it's easily taken for granted. Lalit and I do remind everybody. Every time we are around the management team meeting, we remind people. And our peers already know that message, but we continue to remind them. We continue to remind their teams. When we meet our direct sales force, LOB leaders, you should be doing the same. I think one of the things that we're not so good at as a community is celebrating our own success. Okay, so the communications need to improve both within yourselves and internally within Oracle in reminding people what you do. Okay, and I know that you're going to start to see some newsletters and communications coming out that you yourselves have developed and are taking on board. So, thank you for everything you do. You do a great job. Okay, please do remind people that this is a highly scalable organization. Okay, and do remind them of how you create the partner stickiness and the customer stickiness. So I'll revert back to Lalit to just provide a conclusion in terms of what are the key focus areas for this fiscal.
Thank you. Talking about FY20, there is no change to priorities. If you take the slide from last year, only the optics have changed. I had a triangle last year, but all 5 points are the same. And this remains the priority for this year. You can take the pictures, please, no problem on this one. We need to be consistent and we need to be impactful. So my first priority today is we will continue to do loads of fulfillment business with you. Work with sales organization, help them, last mile support, financial support, very, very critical. But at the same time, if we can identify just 5 partners, new partners per distributor, times 32 plus 38, 70 distributors, We are talking about 350 new partners. Just 5 partners, 12 months, 365 days. Just work with 5 partners. Most of you are billion-dollar organizations with large infrastructure. So I'm saying if you can identify just 5 partners, develop them. I will be relentless with my team on this one, relentless. So help those partners, whether they are ISVs, whether they are SIs, VARs, whether they are tier 2 city partners, new segment partners, you decide. Work with the sales organization. We will do that. We will work with the sales organization, help you identify if you can't do it by yourself. Help us please build a non-managed partner portfolio. Very, very important. Second, I think EMEA has done a fantastic job on the cloud COEs. 8 going to 11, I think we need to learn. And I'm trying to scale in APAC as well. I'll try to do it in line with the data center launches. So we've already done we are having a data center launch in Korea, India, and Australia in this year. So we will do these 3, we'll try to do CCOEs in these 3 countries. Australia is almost there, but pretty much funded by John. But we need to take a larger responsibility, and likewise we need to get to Korea and India as well. So that's critical. So the other one is on-premise business. You know, we as an organization, when we do branding, when we do marketing, we take an extreme position of cloud. When you go to OW, 99.9% messaging is around cloud. But your business in this room, 90% plus still comes from on-premise. So we need your help to go deeper. There's no harm. I mean, if you decide to continue in on-premise, it's a wonderful business. Go deeper. Give us IBM winbacks. Give us database winbacks from IBM or Microsoft. So very, very critical. Likewise for hardware. If you can get comparative hardware wins to Oracle, absolutely love it. And the 5 partners that I talked about in terms of the development need not be cloud only. If you find a good partner that can penetrate with Exadata and get us $3 million more of Exadata revenue, we will take it. Yeah. The 4th one, I've talked about it, ODP support. We'll try as much. I know there are challenges in terms of transactions, the way the transactions are processed. ODP sometimes, or ODP sales reps sometimes may want to take it direct or even change the VAD/VAR. We need to bring that discipline. But I still feel personally that that segment of the market, SMB, should be 2-tier business. And we will try as much as possible, whatever funding support that we have, to drive the engagement, which is both enablement and go-to-market through distribution. 5th, that's business continuity. Whatever we may do, 1 to 4, if we screw up on compliance, we are dead. And we've seen that. We have 0 tolerance policy on non-compliance. So keep the business compliant, keep it above board, keep your books of record. No, don't keep money on the side for travel of anybody. Don't listen to sales guys if they're asking you to book an order without an end user PO. No, no, no. Okay? And if you feel that you are being pressurized, reach out to us, anyone. You can reach out to me, you can reach out to Javier, you can reach out to anyone. We would be very happy to support you. Yeah. So that's it. I hope the session we've had is helpful. I enjoyed my 2 days here. Absolutely fantastic. Although day 2, second half, the turnout has been slightly lesser.
And I think there are some cities where there's only 1 flight per day.
Okay.
So
Okay.
some people
Okay.
had to leave.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you spending time with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Lalit. Cheers. Okay. And you know, every year there's something like, you know, it's engineered systems coming back into the systems business. ISVs now become a focus area again for us. And it's really exciting because I know you touch thousands of MSPs and ISVs. And don't be surprised, you know, specifically in EMEA, we had this solution and coverage partner piece. Don't be surprised if we do the same with the ISVs. So there'll be a set of ANC managed ISVs. You'll still be involved in the transactions, but there'll be a set of ISVs that are fully managed by distribution. And that really is exciting, right, for us. So just to wrap up in closing, the next time we see you all in this kind of format is going to be at Oracle Open World, which this year is taking place much earlier. It's in the middle of September. I hope that you and your colleagues can make it there. We really look forward to these events. We always turn out in force from distribution, and we expect the same to be happening. Jesper, you'll have a shorter journey, and we look forward to seeing you there. Okay? Don't forget to register. And then the other piece is we have a global partner kickoff. It's on June 24th. You know, do please register, do please attend, make sure your colleagues do the same, because it's our opportunity to give you the strategic imperatives from a channel, holistic channel perspective, and so that, and early in the fiscal, so you can then take those messages forward. It is really important for us to continue improving this community forum. So if you wouldn't mind just taking 2 minutes now to go into the application and giving us your feedback. So I'll just pause for a minute whilst you do that. Okay, I still see people typing, so I'll take another minute. It's important we get your feedback. So please do carry on while I'm just wrapping up. So on behalf of the leadership team, so Brian, Han, on behalf of Lalit and myself, on behalf of all of Channel at Oracle, thank you for being here. Thank you for everything that you do. And thank you in advance for everything you're going to do in FY20. This year, we've more than any other time, we've seen people from North America, we've seen people from LAD, we've seen people from APAC, we've seen people from EMEA, and it really does pay homage to the word global in that title. So it's really important to us that we move forward as a community. We take the messages that we've received over the next day and a half, and that you do something when you walk out of here. You take an immediate action that either goes after one of the opportunities that you've seen there, one or more, okay, or you onboard a specific skill. But whatever you do, take an action immediate that you walk out. On behalf of everybody at Oracle, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you at Oracle Open World.